gonna pull up the chat here because I know I've got nobody in here yet, but this will be good. When you guys lock in the chat, tell me what's up. Where are you from? I'm just here playing around with some stuff. I got a project. I'm not going to use this particular one, but it's going to involve these parts. Parts that would go in here, which is kind of cool. Well, that doesn't work. Interesting. That has to be for lights. Do I have batteries? No, I don't. I gotta go grab something. I'll be right back. So, if you show up and I'm not here, and you rewound the video to see if I was here, I'll be right back. Oh, we got one watching. Hi, how are you? What's your name? I need this. I am working on a little RC truck, trying to figure out what this needs to become operational. I can even do this. The famous Bumbles, welcome. Your friends call you Red Dog. I'm doing well. I am Just playing around with adult toys. There we go. That works. Throw some batteries in the radio. Red Dog. Do I know who you are? People always have these crazy names online. You're just like, I don't know you. But then you find out, yes, you do know them. It's not going to be any steering because there's no servo. That's not bad. Throttle trim. Is that forward brake reverse? It is forward brake reverse. That's weird. Oh, the title of the video. Yes. We need more pre-runners and RC trophy trucks in the world. 100%. If you had to pick a favorite trophy truck in the RC world, what would that be? Looking to see if I have a servo in here for this truck. You have the FMS Chaser. You know, it's not a bad truck. But it's not very scale. I prefer super scale trucks. This has the elements, like the body does hang out over the wheels mostly. As you can see, it doesn't quite tuck in under the fenders, but it's got the solid rear axle, which to me is a must on a truck like this, unless you are only racing, because the Slash is obviously an independent rear suspension truck, but independent rear suspension actually performs better for track racing, even with jumps and stuff. With the solid rear axle, you get a lot more body roll, which is generally what you want. Not necessarily body roll, but you want the axles to roll up under the body when you're crawling, so it doesn't have to compress the suspension as much. There's kind of like this teeter-totter thing that happens. So your suspension can maintain a certain stiffness as well as be able to articulate, whereas independent front suspension or rear suspension doesn't do that as well. So in a truck like this, you're going to go around a corner and it's going to roll, and with independent suspension it doesn't do that so much. So, my opinion. Now, I got a bag of servos here, which I think are all broken, but we're gonna find out. And maybe there's parts from two I can put together, which I often do, to make a good one. So let's plug this in and get it turned on and see what we got. I'll show you what I'm doing so it's a little more interesting. You don't stare at the top of my head all the time. Yeah, I think it's this way. Turn it on. Well, that did something. Then it stopped doing it. Okay, that's working. Maybe I plugged it into the wrong one. this one I think is cooked. But it's ticking. It's trying to do something. Unplug it. I'm gonna try this other one. I have a feeling the gears are jammed on that one. Let's try this. That one seems to be working on the channel 3. Why is it so slow though? That is embarrassing how slow that is. But it kind of doesn't matter because I'm gonna just put it in the truck. I'm gonna flip it over. It'll go in this way. Mic volume? Not really, because it's my phone mic and I just need to talk louder, I guess. We can definitely do that. Joker Airborne Patrick's RC. What is going on? TRRC or RC Concepts in the chat. How are you doing? I'm doing good. Super busy. Had to work over the weekend and stuff like that. I tend to mumble also, so I'm trying not to do that for you guys. It's Trevor, right? With TRRC. What is this build you're working on, my guy? That doesn't sound like anything I saw a picture. It looks fascinating, to say the least. Okay. Ooh. This feels like it's getting warm. Oh, it might be just me. I hope it doesn't. Tommy. I don't know why I thought it was Trevor. Maybe I just took the T and was like, it's got to be Trevor. TR. No, it's probably TR, your last name. Don't share your last name. This is the internet. You never know what people are going to do. People are crazy. People are crazy. Sorry, I am mumbling again. We got 5 people in the chat, 1 like. Can we get some more likes? A 1/12 scale class 10 buggy. Ooh, that does sound interesting. Oh, you know what? I think the microcontroller inside my servo might be struggling because I think that's the part on here that's getting warm. But we're still gonna install it and see what happens. If this blows up, you guys will be the first to know. Where's my tiny screwdriver? Did I put that over here? There's a reason I don't show you guys the full desk. This is a lot. You're not sure how you feel about the build? Is it, explain more. I'm interested now. Explain yourself. There it is. Teeny tiny screwdriver. This is like for working on eyeglasses, but it still works. Because all of these little servos, the cheap ones anyway, they come with, what do you call it? Not Hex hardware. Philips hardware. Philip, what a guy, you know? Just what a guy Philip is. He built these screws that were a step up from the slot head screw, but still not a great screw. I too have some builds in the works, and when I say in the works, I really mean in the mind, because it is difficult to get it out into the real world. I did a post the other day and was like, guess what I'm working on? And Tommy was like, looks like an axle part to me. And it is, actually. It's a diff housing that I'm working on. And so my friend is 3D printing my prototypes for me till I can get the tolerances right for all the bearings and everything. And then I can start like actually building the rest of it. But it's going to be a TRX4 diff housing, so I can utilize the locking diff Yeah, you don't like the independent rear suspension either. I was just talking about that, I think, just before you got on. And it's like, I don't like it because it's not scale for trucks and cars. Well, trophy trucks. It's not scale for trophy trucks. Or even short course trucks or stadium trucks. It's so crazy how... And that's got to go on the backside. So, oh my gosh, my lighting is awful. So the steering rod needs to go into the backside of the servo horn, which means I got to pull the servo horn off, put a screw in it, so I can steer the thing. Valeria Pedraza. Pedraza. Not Spanish. I do remember you, because we were talking about this. Italian? Pedraza? Hey, Pedraza! Go to the pizzeria. I got some tiny little screws here. What do I need for this? That's real small, but I think it's going to make my steering sloppy if I go that small. Yes. What else do I have here? That's not long enough. Italian? Valera. Not Valeria. I don't know what I'm thinking. I wasn't like the best reader in school. So there's that. What size is this? 1.5. I need my 0.9 or 1 millimeter hex driver. It's like 0.05 inches. Where the one is the size, the official size for these things. Oh, you know what? It is. I do have it. It's right here. I have this. Oh, shoot. Maybe this one works. I broke my 0.9 trying to take the spinner. Valeria Pedraza, not even close. I don't know what I'm not even close to, but thank you. I think that's the right size. Okay, we're good. It's 1.27 millimeters, if you guys are wondering, for the SCX 24 size screws. But back to my story, I was flying, and I tried to remove the spinner, which is basically the nut that holds your propeller onto the motor. And I tried sticking my tiniest hex wrench in there, and I broke it right off. Just the tip though. Like the little hex part broke off. So now it's useless. Unless I find somebody with a teeny tiny little mill, and I can put a hex back on it or something. So we'll see. I have some drill bits here. I'm gonna try and drill out this. I think I want it that size. Where did I put it? This is like classic working on tiny RCs. Where did I put it? Did I put it here? Did I put it here? And then you're like, doing one of these where you're pushing against your finger and then the tool slips. I actually stuck a piece of plastic into my finger because I was like drilling up against it one day. It's kind of fun, I guess. You look at it and you go, there's a snake in my boot. Ooh, maybe this one will work. It's a little shorter, but it looks like I've got a bigger hole in this servo horn. Yeah, Tommy knows what I'm talking about. He's got a couple TRX 4Ms. He's got at least one. Maybe your friend has the other one. But those are some good videos. I want to do a giveaway when I hit 2,000 subscribers. Any thoughts on what I should give away? I mean, I could like go buy an RC and give that away, which is what everybody does. To me, that's the lazy way out, because money, like people just throw money at stuff and that's how they get there. But I'm a creator. I'm not just an RC guy. You get 4 friends with TRX 4Ms. That's great. I have one of my friends has like a bunch of tiny crawlers, so we can like crawl together, but he doesn't like Traxxas, so he doesn't buy their stuff. But he'll buy like the Traxxas knockoff things. Bye, Valera. Headed out. So yeah, we can play together, but my one friend with Traxxas, this is not working. I need an actual drill. If I just go downstairs, I've got like 14 drills. This will go better. I'm gonna get a drill, I'm gonna be back. And I'm gonna tell you more stories. Okay, I am back. Nope, it's this one, the tiny, teeny one. Oops. I can only imagine what that sounded like through the microphone, sticking this thing on the bench and turning it on. I want to overdo it. I don't think I will. I think this drill bit is the exact size I need. I think I melted my way through it. That's probably the dullest drill bit I own. Really? Is your trophy truck 4-wheel drive now? I hope there's a video coming out on that, because that's fascinating. Personally, I think true trophy trucks are 4-wheel drive, but I also understand that's not everybody's opinion. And I know the trophy truck class, everything it's based on is, like, you've got the 4-wheel drive and the 2-wheel drive class. That's what it is. So let me put it this way. It's not only real trophy trucks are four-wheel drive. I prefer four-wheel drive trophy trucks. Let's say that. It's a little bit slower. Yeah, so something I learned about drivetrain and cars is that a front-wheel drive car loses about 15 to 17% of its power through the drivetrain. A rear-wheel drive car will lose like 25% of its power, and then an all-wheel drive car is like 30% or 32% of its power. So if you got a 300 horsepower car, you're only getting 200 horsepower to the wheels about, if it's all-wheel drive. So that really makes sense. Drivetrain wind-up. Is it making noise? That's always my thing. If I build something and it just starts whining, like, oh boy, I don't know. Okay. Steering trim works. Oh wow, this is like weird. The servo is delayed and it's jumpy. Yeah, you're welcome, Tommy. I am full of facts. Some of them are very useless, but I know them anyway. What's weird about this little truck here, you lock the center diff and you're running rear and front open. Ooh. Yeah, there you go. This battery tray is screwed shut. So it's like a kid's toy, how they have the screw on the battery compartment so kids can't take the batteries out and hurt themselves. But that battery doesn't even fit in there, it's a different shape. But it's an RC, like, granted, this is a cheap RC. This thing is so cheap. It's unbelievable. This I actually got off my friend who buys the cheap RC stuff. He actually has a YouTube channel he hasn't done much with recently. By recently, I mean in the last year. It's called Bang for Your Buck RC Reviews. So if you look that guy up, it's actually my neighbor. So that's kind of fun. Maybe I can just put the battery there and then throw the body on. It kind of fits underneath. Oh, that's big and in the way. So is that. This will fit. This will definitely fit. Perfect. Now I need to get my wheel wrench after I get the body pins back in. You know that guy? Bang for Your Buck RC Reviews? Yeah, that's Robbie. He's my neighbor. We hang out all the time and run RCs. Yeah, you're from Canada. I didn't think you knew him in person. He doesn't usually go to Canada. But fun fact about Canada, I have family that lives in Canada. My mom's family is originally from Canada, so my mom's Canadian, and my dad is French. So I, by definition, am a French Canadian. Also, my mom's from Nova Scotia, and so she's got all kinds of cousins that live in Nova Scotia, and a bunch that live in New Brunswick. And one of her first cousins passed away this past week, and they had a funeral. And my cousin, who's my mom's brother's son, lives in Indiana, flew into a city right near me in Bangor, and then drove across the border. And then on his way back, reached out to me and my brother because we live in the same town. He was like, yo, are you guys around? Can we get together? And we were like, yeah. We had a company Christmas party because we both work for the same company. And company Christmas party that evening. We're like, if you can come to town, which is like an hour away, we could definitely hang out for a couple of hours. So he did, and that was fun because I haven't seen him in a couple of years. Oh, don't you know there, eh? He shoot the puck so hard it go right through the board. If you didn't understand that, you can't speak Canadian. Okay. Got my toolbox down there with all my awesomeness. I'm gonna pull some wheels and put some other wheels on. These wheels, these nuts are the wrong size. These wheels are off of my SCX24 Jeep JLU. It's first gen SCX24. I don't know why I liked them on here. I just have fun switching wheels around and I go, oh, that's fresh. And then I do that and I'm good. But I am gonna pull the wheel weights off. These are the original wheels and those are you can't see that. These are the original wheels and these are the SCX24 wheels. The rim, I think, is the same size, but what a difference. Like that sidewall is huge. This is also a true bead lock, even though it's plastic. I can pull out those screws and take this apart, which is fun. But I need the original wheel hexes in here. I don't know why I took them off. I know where they are, but I don't know why I did that. 6 people watching. This is like kind of a record for me. Welcome, everybody. I watch like 4 of them just leave because I'm not an interesting person. Unless you find me interesting, which you have to be a special kind of person to do that, and that's okay. Your hands nearly fell off filming that last video. I too did that recently. What was I filming? Oh, my FMS crawling through the snow. My FMS FCX24M crawling through the snow. This little truck here. If you haven't seen that video, it's just this thing crawling through the snow. Speaking of this, if you are into micro crawlers that look scale and you're a fan of Toyota, go and get this truck. I am not affiliated with FMS at all. This is the best micro crawler I've ever purchased. I've made some better, pun intended, but it's got a 2-speed transmission. It's got counter-rotating axles for the front and the rear, so it twists both ways instead of like your whole body or your truck twisting off to one side when it starts to go. The high speed is actually very quick, and the low speed, gives you very good modulation for crawling. So go watch that video because it's fun. There's no talking. It's literally just this driving. And I tried to make it look scale, but snow and stuff, it's tough to make these look scale. Oh, also, I'm going to do a mod on this. Maybe I'll do it tonight on the live stream. What do you guys think? I need to put magnets on it because this Velcro thing, they always put Velcro on these. Not always. The companies that do put Velcro on them, I think they're just like, you put a lot into this truck to make it awesome. 2 little magnets, and you could have had perfection. But, I mean, what would we complain about if companies did it perfect? Well, they do. And you end up with the Traxxas UDR. And then we complain that it's too expensive. So there is that. So fun. I need to do this. I need to focus and create some content around specifically independent front suspension conversions for different vehicles. So like this. Mias Racing did this. It's an independent front suspension kit for TRX 4M. And I bought their MB18 chassis, which is what this is. It comes with the body and the cage. And I think a skid plate. But then I got the Mias 2-speed transmission to go in it because basically every build I do, I make 2-speed because why not? And then, why did I say that? I said that for a good reason. Oh, so they made independent front suspension for this platform, which is great. But this thing, because it's a Toyota Tacoma, this has independent front suspension from the factory. So why not make it even more scale by developing some sort of IFS for this rig? What's going to get me is the drive shafts. Drive shafts are so difficult at this scale because nobody makes them that short and that small. I mean, the ones in the axles are very small, but yeah, I don't have a way of articulating the part where it goes into the diff. This end is great because they either have a U-joint or a diff cup, but articulating that one, so you either need a dog bone or a U-joint, and they're so tiny, it's very difficult to work on. My friend with a 3D printer also has a CNC mill, so I'm wondering if I can figure out how to program that to build these. Because basically what I need to do is drill a hole through the axle and slide a little tiny pin through it, and you can buy this rod. This is like push rod for airplanes, because I fly airplanes too. And you can use that as the little pin that goes through for your dog bone, and then I can 3D print a little ball that slides over it to create the ball for the dog bone, and then slide that pin through it and just put a drop of glue on it, and it's done, basically. But the precision of that is very difficult. So I love how Traxxas runs on if it ain't broke, don't fix it, UDR, and barely an upgrade in 7 years. Yeah, just bodies. I mean, they've got to be selling so many of those. I would love to find out how many of each car Traxxas sells. It's got to be absurd with the UDRs. It's probably absurd with some of their cheap ones too, and that's why they keep them around. Like just the regular 2-wheel drive Slash. That thing has got to be popular. The Summit, the Traxxas Summit, they discontinued that, and they discontinued the Revo, the e-Revo. They still have the Revo 3.3, the Nitro version, which is like, I'm not into Nitro. Haywire RC is though. That guy is like all about it. If you're into Nitro, go check out his channel. Him and Tommy, I think, are friends because every time I go over to one of their channels, they've already commented on both of them. They're, yeah, back and forth. It's kind of funny. He's done some pretty cool stuff with Nitro, and it seems like he knows what he's doing with Nitro because some of them, like all of his stuff, just seems to run fantastic. Speaking of Nitro, my friend with the 3D printer, he gave me his Nitro car. I told him I would pay him for it, and I never did. I need to pay him for that. I don't think he's watching tonight because he's at a Christmas concert where his son is playing drums. Trophy Truck Gang. That's the one. I love it. Oh, man. I feel like this winter could be the winter where I really get going on some of these builds that I want to build. I like show and tell. I want to build an IFS kit. Not IFS, it's already got that. Independent solid rear axle. It's not independent. It's a solid rear axle for this. So you'd print a chassis. This is my goal. I design a chassis that is basically the exact same from here forward. I would want it to clip in the same way, so it would need to be the same around where the body clips in. And then from there back, you use all of these axle components and you print the solid rear axle and the arms, the trailing arms, the links, sway bars, use the same shocks, or maybe make different options. So you can use the same shocks and then maybe get longer shocks that would look more scale. But how sick would this truck be with a solid rear axle and then cut out the body, build a cage instead of just having a molded Lexan? There is a guy who built basically that for the 16th scale Slash. So this truck, you get one of these and you harvest all of the components off it, and the body goes right back on it. And if you go on his Cults 3D page, how would you find that? I think just 1/16 mini UDRs, I think is what he calls it. But it's really components off of this. Shocks are different, I think, but the same wheels, same body. And he has a cage for it and everything. So he cut out the windshield and the side windows similar to the UDR, so you can see the cage in there. I think he's got like a little figure that's printed and goes in there. But it is fantastic. I look at it and I'm like, man, I want to build that, but it looks so involved. Probably not as involved as just designing my own. And maybe if I did buy his files and print it and build it, it would help me in designing my own. Food for thought. So that's something I want to do with the little Slash. I also, secret, want to get every Traxxas vehicle that uses this chassis. So the Mini E-Revo, the Mini Summit, and then I want to get the big ones, the Slayer, but I would convert it to electric because I'm not into the nitro thing. Or maybe build a Slayer, get the chassis and the parts and build one. A Slayer is basically a Slash built on this platform. It probably came out after the Slash because the Slash is a really old platform. They've updated it and stuff. I do have a big E-Revo that's broken right now. I need to order, I think, diff parts for it. But it's down there on the bottom shelf. It's my biggest car, for sure. That's why I took the servo out of this, because it's a 4-link suspension, but when you turn it, it's not an axle mounted servo. And I just dropped the hex pins that go through the axle pins, or whatever they call them, turning thing. It sounded like it fell underneath the camera here. But I'm just gonna pull the rest of them out. Nope, that's it right there. Sick. Well, so I was playing with cars in my house. If you've watched my FPV Friday videos, of which there is 1, no, 2, maybe. I put them in and then I schedule them, so I don't remember how many came out so far. Anyway, I'm crawling around my living room with some old pieces of flooring. That is actually the floor in here. As ramps, like up to the couch and then up to the side table and then back down the side table to the next couch and then up to the back of the couch and across the table and different things. Why did I say all that? If you watch that, there's a reason. You would understand something. Oh, is that it? Anyway, one of the trucks I have in the house. That's what it was. I have to go in the house and get my trucks. The one that has the hexes that actually go on here. and so I can put this truck back together the way it was. I think this is going to become a Christmas gift for somebody. So I got to go get the original parts and put them back on, because the parts that were on here, like these weighted wheel weights, I want to keep. I want to put them on something else. I'll be back in 45 seconds. You can time it. I didn't look at the timer. I don't know how long it was, but we lost most everyone because I bugged out for a minute. That's fine. I would say, I don't do this for you, I do this for me, but you know what? I do this for you. Why else would I go live? I could just sit here and talk to myself if this wasn't for any other purpose. But this is my SCX-24 with a Ford Raptor body, because Ford Raptors are the best. I drank the Kool-Aid. This is the original body that went on there, so it's going back. Because what's supposed to be arriving tonight is special. And if anybody hangs out long enough, my mail has been coming so late. It is 8 o'clock my time, and the mail still isn't here yet. I know that because it's snowing outside, and there's no tracks from the mail carrier. But it is due to arrive today. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about that. So this body will be going on something new. I'm stoked. I'm stoked. I'm stoked. I'm so stoked. All right, get off there, you. So this is the wheel hex. Wow, that's difficult to show. And this is the wheel weight. So that's the wheel hex that goes on this truck right here. And this is the wheel weight I had on there to make it perform better, which it did work, but I'm just gonna return it to original status. We got 2 people watching. It says 3, but I'm the 3rd person. I'm watching on my iPad over here, so I can respond, so I can see the comments. Because if the comments pop up on this screen, but then they go away, and I don't know. And if my head was down and the comment showed up, I missed it. Oh no, that's not the right hex. Because that doesn't fit over the shaft. Maybe that's why I used this. But if that's the case, are the right hexes. And if that's the case,